Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of my Feelscrafter's Guide series. Today, we will be covering the brand new limited 5-star Lightning Nihility unit, Acheron. Timestamps will be included in the description for easy navigation, but I hope you stick around for the whole duration as it does help the video out in the algorithm. Let's not keep you waiting any further and get right into the guide. Acheron is probably the most unique DPS that Honkai Star Rail has seen so far. Like Argenti, the vast majority of Acheron's damage comes from her ultimate. However, unlike Argenti, who has a large energy requirement to ult, Acheron doesn't actually use the conventional energy system at all. In fact, she uses her own energy system, building stacks of up to 9/Dream. When she reaches 9 stacks of /Dream, her ultimate will be available to use, dealing an insane amount of damage due to its crazy multipliers. Let's start off with Acheron's relics. She'll want to use the 4-piece diver set as it is very synergistic with her team comms, allowing her to make full use of diverse crit buffs. Acheron also lacks crit value in her kit, making this set her premier option. Another option she can utilize is double attack percent sets. Since Acheron gives herself 90% damage percent on her own, she'll want a lot of attack percent to help her scale well. Her final option only works in her best team with Kafka and Black Swan, which is the Prisoner set. The set allows her to take full advantage of the defense ignore without actually needing to apply DOTs, since Kafka and Black Swan already have that covered. Acheron will want a crit chest and attack percent on everything else. The reason she doesn't run speed boots is due to her nature of being a nuker. In addition to that, Acheron's teammates are the primary stack generators, so Acheron having one extra turn to build stacks is not that valuable. You're basically trading a lot of damage from her ultimate for an extra stack or two of /Dream, which is completely not worth it. The reason Acheron also prefers an attack percent op over a lightning damage percent op is the same as what was mentioned in the Relic Sets op portion. However, the difference isn't too significant, so I would suggest you to run the piece with a higher crit value on substats. I think it's quite self-explanatory on why Acheron doesn't run an ER route. Not really much to talk about here, since it's pretty simple. You want to prioritize crit followed by attack percent. Her best in slot option is the new set from World 9, Izumo Gensei and Takama Divine Realm, which I'll refer to as Izumo. However, I cannot recommend farming this set or World 9 in general. Izumo is only useful on Acheron and perhaps Welt. The other set from World 9, Sigonia the Unclaimed Desolation, is only useful on Pure Fiction. If you're struggling to beat Pure Fiction, it's due to the lack of correct units. The Sigonia set will not help you clear it if you couldn't already do it. Hence, I recommend farming World 6 for Salsoto. I know World 6 has a bad reputation due to Bellabot. However, Salsoto is a good set on not just Acheron, but many other units who use follow-up attack or units whose main source of damage comes from the ultimate. This makes World 6 a more efficient domain than World 9 if you're farming for Acheron. Personally, I'll just be crafting Salsoto for her using relic fragments, and it's also what I recommend to anyone. Acheron's best in slot is obviously her signature Lightcone along the passing shore, which I'll refer to as Shore. Shore is arguably one of the most valuable signature Lightcones in the game, offering Acheron 36% crit damage and inflicting a debuff, Mirage Fizzle, when Acheron damages an enemy, lasting for one enemy turn. Acheron deals 24% extra damage and another additional 24% ultimate damage to enemies inflicted with Mirage Shore. Finally, Shaw allows Acheron to gain an extra stack of Slash Dream whenever she uses a skill on an enemy, essentially doubling her personal stacking capabilities. The value of this Lightcone and its damage increase compared to other options will be explained further in the team comp section. Moving on, Acheron's second best in slot is S5, Goodnight and Sleepwell. Goodnight and Sleepwell increases Acheron's damage by 24% for every debuff on the enemy, stacking up to 3 times. This Lightcone has a great synergy with Acheron due to her needing other Nihility teammates to activate her A4 trace. Her teammates will be able to easily inflict enough debuffs to cap out Goodnight and Sleepwell's damage buff, as well as maintain 100% buff uptime. Acheron's free-to-play option, S5 Fermata, is also a relatively decent option. However, it only really works in the Kafka Black Swan team, otherwise it's quite bad. Quite simple here. You want to upgrade her ultimate, followed by talent, then finally her skill. I don't recommend upgrading her basic attack at all. For her major traces, they are all equally important, hence the order doesn't matter. This team involves Kafka, Black Swan, Acheron, and Jepat. I know it may seem like an odd pairing, but this is the team that I believe will have the most total damage across the board. Kafka, Black Swan, and Acheron will be using their signature Lightcones, but they are not necessary at all. Jepat will be using Trend of the Universal Market. This Lightcone applies a burn to any enemy that hits Jepat. This team allows Acheron to literally spam her ultimates, easily obtaining 1 turn or 2 turn ultimates at most. Although there aren't any supports to boost her damage, Acheron's multipliers are so disgusting that even without supports, she would easily be able to hit for 300k damage per ultimate. In addition to that, Kafka and Black Swan are outputting their own respectable damage while building a crazy amount of stacks for Acheron. Whenever Kafka launches a follow-up attack, uses a skill or ultimate, Acheron gains a stack. Whenever Black Swan performs any action, Acheron gains a stack. And finally, whenever Jepat gets hit, Acheron gains a stack due to Trend's effect. Unlike conventional DOT comps, which want you to run 160 speed on your DOT units, this comp does not require that at all. You want to run 136 speed on Black Swan and 135 speed on Kafka to ensure that they proc Glamour's 135 speed buff effectively. You want to run Jepat faster than both Black Swan and Kafka so that he's able to launch Kafka's follow-up attack right at the start of each cycle. Acheron does not need speed at all. Since this team is able to clear content so fast, unless you're going for 200 speed, anything above 134 speed breakpoint is completely irrelevant. You want to be stacking attack percent on your DOT units so that they are able to output more damage and clean up anything that Acheron left alive more efficiently. Since this team is quite SP hungry, you want to follow this set of actions. Kafka and Acheron will maintain skill spam. Black Swan uses skill once at the start of each wave to apply defense shred, then spams basic the rest of the time. Jepat will spam basic. This allows the team to sustain its SP consumption. You can even weave in Kafka basics here and there if you're confident that the enemy will die even without needing to use Kafka's skill. Acheron, Pela, Silverwolf, Jepat is another strong alternative team. In this team, Acheron will be doing most of the damage. When Acheron is outside the Kafka Black Swan team, her signature Lightcone's value goes up a lot as her role in generating stacks becomes larger. This team focuses on Acheron and makes her the sole damage dealer in the comp. This team will allow Acheron to do 2 turn outs consistently, sometimes having 3 turn outs if Jepat does not get hit enough. Any of Pela or Silverwolf's actions will generate a stack for Acheron. Pela will want to use S5 Resolution Shines as Pulse of Sweat to apply defense shred on any enemies that she hits. Silverwolf wants to use S5 before the tutorial mission starts to maintain a good ult uptime and ease her affect hit rate troubles. There aren't really any alternatives to tutorial, so I'm sorry to anyone that doesn't have it, but this is the only option for Silverwolf. One important thing to note in this comp is, You do not want to break an enemy's toughness with anyone except Acheron unless you don't have a choice, since Ice and Quantum breaks cause enemy actions to be delayed more than a conventional break, reducing the amount of times Japar gets hit. This team involves Acheron, Pela, Sparkle, Fire, Trailblazer. Japar is swapped out for Fire Trailblazer, as Fire Trailblazer is able to guarantee that all enemies will hit her with her skill's taunt. This is definitely one of the worst options. It makes it so that Acheron is not able to take advantage of the double nihility buff, which is a massive detriment. In addition to that, it's also the only team that forces Acheron to run her signature Lightcone, since Acheron has now become the primary stack generator. Damage wise, it's still comparable to Pela Silverwolf, but it takes up a valuable support in the form of Sparkle. Definitely not what I'd run for Acheron. This team involves Acheron, Pela, Guinaifen or Sample, and Japar. This is Acheron's worst team by far, and is only meant for her to be able to take advantage of her A4 trace. Guinaifen exists solely to apply Fire Kiss since her personal damage isn't too high, while Sample serves as a decent sub DPS. I don't like Luca in this team since he relies too much on breaking. Overall, I would not recommend pulling Acheron if you only have this team for her. Overall, I do think that Acheron will replace Jingliu as the best DPS in the game, and it's not close either. Not only that, her best team doesn't require any of the high demand supports such as Ranmei, Tingyun or Sparkle, which is an invaluable benefit to have. If you're able to put her in an optimal team and give her a good build, she'll be able to not only clear content but give you ridiculously fast clears as well. 10 out of 10 pulling value if she's treated with care and if you need lightning coverage. 8 out of 10 if you don't need lightning coverage, and 6 out of 10 if you don't have optimal teammates. Anyway, I've yapped enough for today. Make sure to check out my socials in the description. I try to stream a couple times every week. Schedule will be uploaded in my Discord server. Remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment sharing your opinions on Acheron. I hope you guys enjoyed today's content, and I'll see you around soon.